Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Characterized by violence or bloodshed. Marked by extreme intensity of emotions or convictions, inclined to react violently, fervid. Violent passions. Of colors or sounds, intensely vivid or loud. A violent clash of colors. Acting with or marked by or resulting from great force or energy or emotional intensity. A violent attack. Effected by force or injury rather than natural causes. A violent death. Turn red, as if in embarrassment or shame. Characterized by violence or bloodshed. Rites of crimson deeds and barbaric days. Of a color at the end of the color spectrum, next to orange, resembling the color of blood or cherries or tomatoes or rubies. Especially of the face, reddened or suffused with or as if with blood from emotion or exertion. Crimson with fury. A deep and vivid red color. The amount by which the cost of a business exceeds its revenue. The company operated in the red last year. Red color or pigment, the chromatic color resembling the hue of blood. Characterized by violence or bloodshed. Convulsed with red rage. Of a color at the end of the color spectrum, next to orange, resembling the color of blood or cherries or tomatoes or rubies. A tributary of the Mississippi River that flows eastward from Texas along the southern boundary of Oklahoma and through Louisiana. Especially of the face, reddened or suffused with or as if with blood from emotion or exertion. Turned red from exertion. Emotionally charged terms used to refer to extreme radicals or revolutionaries. Ruthless in competition. Violently agitated and turbulent. The fierce thunders roar me their music. Marked by extreme and violent energy. Fierce fighting. Marked by extreme intensity of emotions or convictions, inclined to react violently, fervid. Fierce loyalty. Marked by extreme intensity of emotions or convictions, inclined to react violently, fervid. In a tearing rage. Shedding tears. Marked by extreme intensity of emotions or convictions, inclined to react violently, fervid. Irresponsible in the use of firearms. Marked by extreme intensity of emotions or convictions, inclined to react violently, fervid. Vehement dislike. Characterized by great force or energy. Vehement deluges of rain. In an uncontrolled and rampant manner. Without civilizing influences. Wild tribes. A wild primitive state untouched by civilization. He lived in the wild. Without a basis in reason or fact. In a natural state, not tamed or domesticated or cultivated. Wild geese. Fanciful and unrealistic, foolish. A wild and uninhabited area left in its natural condition. It was a wilderness preserved for the hawks and mountaineers. Talking or behaving irrationally. Involving risk or danger. A wild financial scheme. Located in a dismal or remote area, desolate. A godforsaken wilderness crossroads. Of the elements, as if showing violent anger. Intensely enthusiastic about or preoccupied with. Of colors or sounds, intensely vivid or loud. Wild colors. Deviating widely from an intended course. A wild bullet. In a state of extreme emotion. Wild with anger. Marked by extreme lack of restraint or control. Wild talk. In a wild or undomesticated manner. Growing wild. Informal intensifiers. A bloody fool. Extremely. You are bloody right. Cover with blood. Bloody your hands. Having or covered with or accompanied by blood. A bloody nose. Extremely sharp or severe. Intense itching and burning. Of color, having the highest saturation. Intense blue. Possessing or displaying a distinctive feature to a heightened degree. Intense heat. Marked by extreme and violent energy. A ferocious beating. Marked by extreme and violent energy. A furious battle. Marked by extreme anger. Furious about the accident. Of the elements, as if showing violent anger. Furious winds. Producing a burning sensation on the taste nerves. Hot salsa. Characterized by violent and forceful activity or movement, very intense. The fighting became hot and heavy. Charged or energized with electricity. A hot wire. Newest or most recent. News hot off the press. Very fast. Capable of quick response and great speed. A hot sports car. Color, bold and intense. Hot pink. Extended meanings, especially of psychological heat, marked by intensity or vehemence, especially of passion or enthusiasm. A hot temper. Having or bringing unusually good luck. Hot at craps. Having or dealing with dangerously high levels of radioactivity. Hot fuel rods. Having or showing great eagerness or enthusiasm. Hot for travel. Marked by excited activity. A hot week on the stock market. Newly made. A hot scent. Of a seeker, very near to the object sought. You are hot. Performed or performing with unusually great skill and daring and energy. A hot drummer. Recently stolen or smuggled. Hot merchandise. Sexually excited or exciting. Was hot for her. Used of physical heat. Having a high or higher than desirable temperature or giving off heat or feeling or causing a sensation of heat or burning. Hot stove. Very good, often used in the negative. He's hot at math but not so hot at history. Very popular or successful. One of the hot young talents. Very unpleasant or even dangerous. Make it hot for him. Wanted by the police. A hot suspect. Extremely violent. Affected by involuntary jerky muscular contractions, resembling a spasm. Convulsive motions. Resembling a convulsion in being sudden and violent. A convulsive rage. Violent and lawless. The more ruffianly element. A member of an uncivilized people. Without civilizing influences. A savage people. A cruelly rapacious person. Marked by extreme and violent energy. Of persons or their actions, able or disposed to inflict pain or suffering. A savage slap. Criticize harshly or violently. The press savaged the new president. Wild and menacing. Attack brutally and fiercely. In a careless or reckless manner. In a violent or sudden or noisy manner. The pans fell slam bang and woke the whole house. Violent and sudden and noisy. A slam bang collision. Making great mental demands, hard to comprehend or solve or believe. Very difficult, severely testing stamina or resolution. The competition was tough. Someone who learned to fight in the streets rather than being formally trained in the sport of boxing. Unfortunate or hard to bear. A tough break. Violent and lawless. Tough street gangs. Physically toughened. The tough bottoms of his feet. An aggressive and violent young criminal. A cruel and brutal fellow. Substantially made or constructed. A tough all-weather fabric. Feeling physical discomfort or pain, tough, is occasionally used colloquially for bad. He was feeling tough after a restless night. Not given to gentleness or sentimentality. A tough character. Resistant to cutting or chewing. Extremely violent. A knock-down and drag-out fight. Beating with a whip or strap or rope as a form of punishment. Rope that is used for fastening something to something else. The boats were held together by lashings. Violently urging on by whipping or flogging. Looked at the lashing riders. Glaringly vivid and graphic, marked by sensationalism. Lurid details of the accident. Ghastly pale. Moonlight gave the statue a lurid luminance. Horrible in fierceness or savagery. Lurid crimes. Shining with an unnatural red glow as of fire seen through smoke. A lurid sunset. Characterized by violent and forceful activity or movement, very intense. A raging battle. Of the elements, as if showing violent anger. The raging sea. Very severe. A raging thirst. Displaying raging violence, often destructive. The hot rampageous horses of my will. Speaking or behaving in an artificial way to make an impression. Not normal, not typical or usual or regular or conforming to a norm. Not in accordance with or determined by nature, contrary to nature. An unnatural death. Very unfavorable to life or growth. A hostile climate. Characterized by enmity or ill will. A hostile nation. Impossible to bring into friendly accord. Hostile factions. Troops belonging to the enemy's military forces. The platoon ran into a pack of hostiles. Unsolicited and resisted by the management of the target company, used of attempts to buy or take control of a business. Hostile takeover. Not belonging to your own country's forces or those of an ally. Hostile naval and air forces. Not peaceful. Unpeaceful times.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.